This is just a quick video showing you how to run and execute my final project in CLion versus command prompt. So why do we need a separate video? Well, it just has to do with the way that file I/O is handled between the CLion integrated development environment and Windows command prompt. And this can be explained pretty well via this Udemy course. So I was taking this Udemy course on modern C++, and it basically goes over file I/O and the differences between some common IDEs. So Windows Visual Studio, Code Blocks, and Xcode. Xcode does it a little differently, but Windows Visual Studio and Code Blocks, you just have to pass in the file name as your argument, and that's similar for Windows command prompt. However, in certain IDEs, namely CodeLite and CLion, which is the IDE that I've been using, you have to prefix the file name with .. so that it can go up a file, because it has to do with the way that the IDE stores the files. It actually puts them in a debug folder that's up one file level. So because of that, I'm just showing you how I do it so that you can run my program both via the command prompt and via CLion IDE. I realized that I've been sending code that would only work in CLion's IDE, and if you don't have that, it wouldn't work in command prompt. Now, I'm sure that you were aware and obviously knew how to change this, but I figured I'd do the video anyway. So obviously the line that I have uncommented right now, which this little comment says on comment to run program in CLion IDE, has the file name prefixed with the .. However, if you want to run it in a command prompt, you would uncomment this line and obviously comment out this line, because this line just has the file name with no prefix .. meaning that's what you would have to do for all of the files. You would have to remove this prefix in order to run it in the command prompt. So I've done that. This code is set up for the IDE, but the other code that I'll run in a second has all these lines commented out and has all of the Windows command prompt lines non-commented, i.e. the ones that just have the file name. So that would be for the save game method, similarly for the load game method, as well as in the all of the files, file I/O associated with the Alice in Wonderland text-based adventure game file. And again, you could just find those by Control F-ing. There's only 6 locations in there. So that's how you would run the program if you were in the CLion IDE. However, we're going to run it via the command prompt. So this is the command, which I'll include in the email to compile everything. That might take a second. So when I was compiling this, I noticed I still don't have a door class. So I have door and direction both as just header files, but not implementation files. Direction, that's kind of fine. It's just an enum. But the door class, it's a small, simple class, but I probably should separate that into both a header file and a CPP file, an implementation file. Also, I noticed that I didn't have a header file for my Alice in Wonderland class, which again is fine. I needed to recognize it. So now I've compiled everything up. I've indicated that. I've indicated that the file should be named Alice in Wonderland.exe as opposed to a.exe, which it normally is by default. So now if I run the program, it does all the usual stuff. So I can take jar. I know there's a jar right here. I take jar taken. You can see at the bottom. All the other stuff is just debug code, drop jar, jar was dropped, and quit. So that's how to run the program via command prompt. Again, so the file, I'll send both files. One file will just be labeled command prompt. One will be labeled CLine, so that you can choose which file you would like to use. Like if you want to use the CLine ID, then I would suggest using that. Otherwise, you can run via command prompt like this.